I'm Carrie. This is Student Loan Chit-Chat. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me this Tuesday evening. All right, so this ran yesterday on the Dave Ramsey show. Dave, don't chew me out. You know, when somebody's saying that, you know they're at least a regular listener, if not even a long-time listener. So let's hit it.
Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Lisa is in
Hi, Lisa.
Fredericksburg, Virginia. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, Dave. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
You too. How can we help?
So I have a pretty complex question, and I've heard your last segment previously about shacking up and sharing finances and things like that when you're not married. So please don't chew me out as a disclaimer. I co-signed for my boyfriend for a car.
All right, people, get your tea. Get your tea. We all know where this is headed. Straight downhill, most likely. All right, get your tea. Let's do it.
He owes about $32,000, or I should say we owe about $32,000, and he's been behind on the payment.
This is why we don't co-sign a car. Oh, my heart is already feeling for it. Remember, this just ran yesterday, so this is going into the holidays, behind on a car payment. People, do not co-sign for a car. The only people that should co-sign is parent to child, and that is only if the parent has the financial means to pay off the bill in full. That's it. Otherwise, nobody should be co-signing, and definitely not boyfriend and girlfriend. This is not going to end well.
I've been denied for 2 personal loans for the difference of the vehicle.
And she's been denied 2 personal loans for the difference of the vehicle. I'm kind of confused on that. Okay, sometimes I gotta process there. So she's, you know what? Hold up. We're gonna play that one last part back again.
2,000, or I should say we owe about $32,000, and he's been behind on the payment. I've been denied for 2 personal loans for the difference of the vehicle due to my debt to income ratio. So I'm really trying to figure out how to get from under this car completely.
Well, I know how you can get under it. You can get out from under it. Pay it off. Pay it off. And if she has been denied like she said, she's been denied these 2 loans because she is so high debt. The bank is looking at both of them and going, at this point, we're not going to lend to either one of you. That's what the bank's doing. This is when the cosigner can take their credit score, can take their, what was perhaps once a respectable credit history, and it can tank really, really fast, straight down the drain. And for someone you're not even married to. Somebody you're not even married to. And I'm not saying I chuckle in a cruel way, but there is that mental chuckle of like, you go ahead, you take on this huge co-signing loan, and $32,000 is a lot. I mean, we're not talking, she signed off on a $5,000 vehicle, which I wouldn't have even done that either, but we're talking $32,000. Okay. A third of my condo cost. Okay. In 2020. So I humorously chuckle and think to myself, people get themselves into these huge debts, and I've done that too. Okay. I'm no innocent party, but then they call in, as far as dealing with co-signing, they go in and they go, well, this co-signing thing isn't working out so well, so how do I get rid of it? The same way you got it, you and the person that said they were going to pay it off with you, you 2 or 3, it's usually a party of 2, okay? You're going to have to figure out how to pay off the bill. That's how you get out from underneath that debt. I will link at the end of this video a couple of other co-signing stories I've done. I know I did one for a gal, and she co-signed for her boyfriend on a vehicle. I can't remember the amount. Okay. But that story was done. I will link that at the end of this video. Yeah. The way you get out of a co-sign debt is you pay the debt that you said you were going to back up. And always remember, folks, when somebody needs a co-signer, it's because they don't have the money themselves. The bank that was worth billions and billions of dollars looked at that person and said, nah, I'll pass on you. And then you took it up as the sucker, a job that the bank wouldn't even do.
And is this your ex-boyfriend?
No, current.
Is this my ex-boyfriend? Okay. Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
These really long pauses. That's from Ramsey. That's not me being slow on the trigger. This is all from Ramsey. So she's gonna tank her credit over someone she's not even related to. This is what happens when you play house. We're gonna play house.
Well, it sounds like he can't afford the car.
And neither can she at this point.
Yeah.
It sounds like he couldn't afford it when you guys got the loan, considering he needed a cosigner.
And the bank knew he couldn't afford it. The bank knew that. The bank, like I said, is worth billions and billions of dollars. Knew this guy can't afford it. Always remember when you're co-signing, it's my belief that people co-sign based on the financial position they're in at that time, at that moment that they walked into the bank and said, okay, I'll co-sign. They don't think about what might happen 6 months, 2 years, 5 years down the road. They think in terms of, well, okay, today everything's fine, I can afford it. But can you afford it a few years down the road?
He hadn't paid the payments.
What's the car worth?
So why is he not selling the car?
Why is he not the one making the phone call saying, I kind of screwed this up? He didn't want to sell the car. He's got a cosigner. Remember that. He's not going to jump to sell the car. He's got somebody else that has said that they'll pay for it if he doesn't get it. Sounds to me like it was a pretty good deal for him.
He can't afford it, and he's doing damage to his girlfriend. There's 2 reasons to get rid of the car.
Everybody's your girlfriend and boyfriend when they want you to co-sign something. Everybody's your best friend when they want you to co-sign something. Always remember that.
Yeah, so the private sale based on Kelly Blue Book was $19,000. Trade-in value is $17,000. Like I said, we owe $32,000. So that.
Whoa! They aren't just upside down. They are pool sunk.
Balance that difference there. Don't have the money saved up for that difference, or I'm not able to get a personal loan to even cover that.
Did he roll other vehicles? Like, when he got this vehicle, did he roll another vehicle into it? Almost like they're actually paying off multiple cars. Ladies, and I'm going to speak just to the ladies here momentarily, just because it is the woman calling in. I am totally aware it can go in reverse, but let's just take it at face value for what it is right now. Ladies, before you allow a guy to take that much money from you, okay, to have you sign off, please, think of your future financial security. I'm not saying be money hungry, but what I am saying is you're signing off on a guy that the bank will not sign off on. And when somebody really, really wants something, they'll claim to love you to no end. He probably made her feel like $1 million up to the time this thing was signed. Want to make a bet? He promised her everything in the world. She signed it because she believed it. That's my suspicion. And the way she sounds now, she sounds utterly depressed. I'd be depressed.
I went to 2 credit unions, my personal credit union and then the credit union that the car is financed through, but they said my debt-to-income ratio was just too high in order to approve the loan.
So the credit union that your car is going through is confused. You and boyfriend need to go sit down with that credit union and talk to the manager.
If the credit union won't lend to you, you're kind of screwed. I mean, we all know Bank of America won't do crap for you. I think we got that part figured out. But if the credit union won't do that for you, you have a serious problem. And I'll be honest, if I were the credit union manager, I don't know where Dave's going to go with this, but I'd just say my 2 cents. If I were the credit union manager and you came in with your boyfriend and you have a $15,000 difference between this vehicle, okay, what you've kind of have shown me is you don't make really good financial decisions. I probably wouldn't lend it to you either. Just saying, off of just what I know about the surface.
And here's how it sounds, okay?
Let's hear it.
Mr. Manager, You have a $19,000 car loan and a $13,000 personal loan because you have a $32,000 car loan that only has $19,000 worth of collateral. So you're unsecured right now for $13,000.
Yep.
If you have to take the car back and repo it, you're going to be unsecured for even more than that. This is you telling the manager this.
You know what my experience is? The banks don't give a crap. That's my experience. The banks don't care. Okay, and you're talking to someone who had my second bankruptcy. If you've listened to this, to my previous reactions, my second bankruptcy was off of a car, and it wasn't even that much. It was in my early 30s, so we're talking, years back. But still, it was off of a car that I could not afford, and the car amount was only, I think it was, if memory serves me correct, I'm gonna say it was right around $14,000. It wasn't even that much. And I was literally told, go file bankruptcy. We'll just repo the car. So I did. Okay, I mean, I had gone through 2 job layoffs. I think I was about 32. It was when I lived in Oregon. My experience is the banks don't care. You can give them all that logic in the world. You can give them all that logic. They don't care. And I don't even know if a credit union would care that much. Seriously. That's just my experience.
You following me?
Yes.
And so our asking you to allow us to sign a note for the difference, the amount that the car won't bring, gets the strain off of your bad loan, off of him, my boyfriend, and all you're doing is admitting that this loan is only partially collateralized. He already doesn't have a collateralized loan because the car's upside down $13K. You follow me?
Yes.
But my concern, as if I were a banker, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here as the banker, she doesn't make good financial decisions. And that may be part of the problem. So yeah, you can go in, and I'm a member of a credit union, okay? But what she's showing is she doesn't make good decisions. And I'll be totally honest, the fact that they are not married to me is a ding against them in her being able to get a loan. Now, I could be totally wrong. I am not a banker. I know nothing about how they make loan decisions. But from a layperson's point of view, okay, if you were at least married and you came in under the same situation, I would be more, if I were, God and in charge, I guess, okay, I would be more likely to make that arrangement with a couple who was married than this boyfriend-girlfriend. Because this boyfriend-girlfriend is just a fiasco, I would say, waiting to happen, but it's already happened. So the fact that they're not related to each other in a legal way, in my opinion, hurts her case. I keep hitting my head on this. I love this microphone. This mic, but dang, got to remember to keep the mic lower than my ears. Okay, hold on.
Just explain that to him. Sometimes you have to say that out loud because sometimes a credit union manager hasn't thought this through. And if they thought it through, then they would go, oh, I have a much higher likelihood of getting my $13,000 amount that were upside down if I let this guy out of the 19 by selling the car.
I don't think the credit union's going to go for it. They don't care. It's just a write-off. It's a business write-off.
Because the 13's not collateralized anyway. Then we've reduced your problem to a $13,000 problem, and then you and said boyfriend take 6 jobs and pay off the $13,000 before you pay off anything else. And
you and said boyfriend should reconsider the relationship and what type of financial future you want, because this isn't gonna this type of situation where he's shown you the fact that it even got to this shows you he's not willing to take on extra work, at least from what I can tell. Because Dave's saying, well, you guys are now going to work real hard and get this $13,000 out, assuming the credit union gives them the money. But if the boyfriend wasn't willing to work hard before, what makes you think he's going to do it now? Really, all this does, in my opinion, is just help her out to get her out from underneath his debt. Don't expect boyfriend to kick in anything. He's not going to. He would have done it by now. If he were a man, he would have stood up to it and he would have done it already.
Never sign a loan again with someone you're not married to.
I'm telling you, the boyfriend's not going to pay a dime. She's going to be the one to pay this car off. And I, if I were a betting person, I would bet $1. I would bet $1 the credit union is not going to do it.
Okay.
See, I didn't yell, did I? I did good.
It's very kind, calm day.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was almost story time. It was so relaxing.
Does that make sense to you, Lisa? I mean, that's the only way I know to get you out, other than
I love this show.
you guys both go work 60, 80 hours a week and come up with $13K.
And he ain't going to work 60, 80 hours a week because he wasn't willing to work before. He's willing to sink his girlfriend so that she has to cover the bill. He's not going to do anything. And that is why this gal needs to really, really think about, is this the type of guy she wants to have kids with or, get married to, have a future with?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try that.
Yeah. He can't keep the car. And you guys have not had this discussion, and he's being a little boy and hasn't admitted it yet. He's doing harm to the person he claims to love.
No, he sees her as a lollipop sucker. She was the sucker. And you want to bet that when the car has to be sold and all that, he's going to be gone. He's looking for a sugar mama.
You.
Yeah.
Because he can't pay the bill. We know that because he hasn't been paying the bill.
And that's the guy you want to shack up with, continue shacking up with?
And it's messed up your credit. Am I missing something?
No.
What does he make a year?
He makes about 55.
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah. So
And he needs his little woman to sign off on a car for him. And now, I think 30,000 might be a little high for a vehicle at that income. That's why I'm wondering if he didn't roll in another vehicle with him.
car was a bad purchase anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a $32,000 car when you make 55 is out of line, even if you pay cash for it.
Yep.
If she decides to stay with him, okay, if her self-esteem is low enough, like I said, this just ran yesterday, so you never know, she might hear this. If her self-esteem is low enough and she decides to stay with him, he has given her a glimpse of what a future with him is going to be like. He's given her a glimpse. And remember, as I've said in previous videos, and I will continue to remind people, I believe that we are the cause of most of our financial mistakes, mishaps, unfortunate events. If I look at all of my financial history, how many of the financial history was due to things that I could not control? My knee arthritis, okay? That's just, as my doctor said, I was just born with not such great knees, all right? But how much in relation to that, against the backdrop of, bad knees, how much of it has been my own choosing? That from the people I chose, from where I chose to spend the money, from the jobs I chose to take, yada, yada, all of that. How much of it has been because of my actions? Okay? I'll say about 80% of it, most of it. So if she decides to stay with this guy and he continues to lead her on the road to financial ruin, and he will, guaranteed, okay, he will. This is not going to be the first time at the rodeo. All right, then can she really blame anybody? This whole situation was of her doing. And one of the things that helped me to become debt free was I had to just get to the point where I could just admit it. I did it. I did it to myself. Somebody else didn't do it to me. Not that I ever sat and went, somebody else's fault. But we don't really embrace that and say we caused it. It's the person we chose. It's the decisions that we made. All right? It's the habits that we picked up, that we didn't reform, that we didn't, seek to change. It's really brought on by us. Something to think about. So if she stays with this dude, all right, this is on her. This is already on her. And unless she comes to accept that, unless she sees that, she's going to go ahead and she's going to marry this guy. And guess what? Now she gets to take care of somebody. Oh, wait a minute. She already is, right?
That was just. Did you guys put anything down on this, or was this no nothing down with a cosigner?
Rolled negative equity from the deal
No.
before into it, didn't you?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's exactly what I wondered. Did they roll another car in? Because the fact that they are so upside down is just like, wow. I mean, I understand the 3, 4, 5, I'll even take 6,000. But to be basically half and half upside down, yeah, it was pretty. So this tells you what type of person he is. This is on her. And if she stays, it's on her.
Yeah, that's why you're in 13 upside down already. Yeah.
That explains it.
There's no way you'd be that far in the hole otherwise.
Oh.
Exactly. See, I lead my audience. I try to lead you down the right path.
Unless it was the world's worst car, but yeah. What kind of car is it?
It's a 2021 Honda Elantra.
Okay. Nice car. Yeah. Okay. So where's his head on this, Lisa? What's he going to say?
Well, he's going to say, I found the right woman to marry. Right? I found the right woman to marry. And here's another thing about co-signing. Why, when you get an irresponsible co-signer like this guy, it's my belief that the one who is more responsible, okay, the one that co-signed, all right, the one that's trying to be the helper, all right, not the helpee, but the helper. The helper has a vested interest in keeping their credit clean, in keeping their financial history clean. The one that they're co-signing for doesn't have as much of an interest. They really don't. So it's my belief that that imbalance of power, okay, the person that's asking for the help does not have as high of an investment in the loan as the person who's helping. And this is why I really believe it should only be parent to child. That's the only way it should be. And again, only if the parent can afford it. But in this case, and I think this happens a lot, the person that asked for the help, if they choose to go down the path of being irresponsible, eventually goes, hey, you know what? I got nothing in this, I mean, my credit score, sucked to begin with, and that's why I need a co-signer, and, I've got somebody else who's got my back on this, so they're going to wash their hands of it, because instinctively, they know that the person who volunteered to help them cares about their credit, most likely, wants to keep it clean. So they know that a person that did the co-signing has a higher level of interest to keep their score clean. And we're not just talking their credit report, because I know Ramsey doesn't really deal with credit reports, but in the real world, we have to, okay? But it's not just their credit report, it's their whole payment history. They want to keep it clean. So who's going to be the one to pay off the loan? The person who has the higher vested interest in it. And this is where the co-signer gets screwed over every single time.
So we've actually both been trying to get rid of it. He's on board with getting rid of it.
Oh, good.
But
Okay.
He's on board with getting rid of it after it has basically sunk them, and he's got a co-signer. I don't buy that. His lips and his brain, and in my opinion, nah. I don't believe that he's on board with it. He needed a co-signer, for God's sakes.
Yeah, he's not able to do much. He's relying on me because I have the better credit to.
Yeah,
speak
you
with
used to
the
before he
credit
came
union.
along. Yeah.
When they say there is a sucker born every minute, this phone conversation could be it. She's the sucker.
Well, it hasn't been reported yet, but he's been behind, and I'm just afraid that it is going to start being reported, and then it's going to tank both of our credit scores.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's going to, for sure. And in the meantime, what you've got is a high debt to income ratio, which is keeping you from getting the other loans, right?
Yes.
This was all brought on by her actions. It was all brought on by her choices, her decisions. Just as my financial history was brought on by my actions, my choices, my decisions.
That's not the damage. It's not damage credit. It's you got other debt. So what do you make?
60.
Okay. So you got $105,000 income between the two of you.
It's never as much as it seems, though, Dave. It's never as much as it seems. It's not. And when you're doing it on the backdrop of a whole lot of debt, now it's not really 105. So please don't tell me that, well, you can take 50 of it and slam it towards, the debt, and you'll be out of debt in 6 months.
I think we need to cut down to beans and rice, rice and beans, and take 2 more extra jobs and sell everything in sight and get these messes cleaned up.
No. She will be the one to have to do it because he ain't going to do SHI you know what. Why does he need to work? He's found someone who'll do it all. He is a, is it the word manipulator? I'm trying to think of what the word is. He's an opportunist, an opportunity seeker. Okay, I don't think that manipulator is the word that I'm looking for, but he preys. To me, he's preying on somebody that he goes, you'll buy what I'm selling, and she's perfect for it. She is perfect because I haven't heard her say a thing about maybe this isn't the right relationship. Perhaps I should reconsider who I want to get involved with. Okay, I haven't heard her say a thing about that.
If I were in you guys' shoes, that's what I would do. But this horrible experience for you and for him, for that matter, has been y'all's wake-up call.
It's not a horrible experience for him. He's gotten exactly what he wants. He's found a chick to pay the bill. Trust me, if he puts his feet up on the couch and he doesn't do anything, she'll be the one to pay it. She has the higher she has more to lose. She has more to lose than he does. And she doesn't sound like she's anywhere near kicking him out or even rethinking her actions. Nah, he hasn't lost anything. He's right where he started. He couldn't get a loan to begin with. He didn't have a high enough credit score, right? So he's right where he started. She's the one who has everything to lose. And somebody who looks for a good victim looks for somebody that will buy into their, oh, well, I need a co-signer because I can't do this myself. Well, you got to have the right type of victim, and she's perfect for it, which is a pity.
We just made a mistake. And Lisa, if you were the only person who ever made a mistake about a car or co-signing for a car in America, George and I wouldn't have a job.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and in this, as you guys know, I do tend to end it when I think the majority of the video is done. Of course, I will have it linked in the description box as always. All right, folks. Well, that's the topic du jour. I'm going to get ready and go watch some TV. I'd like to thank you all for joining me this evening. I do hope you will consider subscribing. And you guys have yourself an awesome Tuesday night. Bye.
Pomóż.